very excited to share this story with you. I'm here with Ginny of NinjaVA, and we're going to be learning about not only the story of NinjaVA, but how Ginny got into the world of the skilled trades and how we're going to be helping the next generation of contractors, electricians, plumbers, you name it, with a skill that has nothing to do with working harder. So I'm very excited to have you here, Jeannie. So thank you so much for coming. I know you were on 2 trips and then you caught a flight at 3 o'clock in the morning just to get
I
it.
did.
I just want to say thank you, first of all.
I did. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here today. I mean, it was a great event. It's my second day here, so it was really nice to be discovering everything you do at Energizers.
I appreciate you. So I want to just start off. How did you get into the trade space? Because like the last few days we were talking with a few apprentices and they were saying there's multiple facets of the trade. There's blue collar, there's the office work, there's business administration. You can be an apprentice, journeyman, foreman. What avenue of the trades are you with?
Yeah, so I actually saw both sides from my personal experience, I am an interior designer. That's what I study at school. Yeah, it's kind of, for NinjaVA, I'm a marketer, but my studies was in interior design. So I work with a lot of trades in my young years. So I saw the side, the working side actually of the trades. And then when I became a marketer, I worked for a few companies as a marketer. And then when I looked for a new job, I saw NinjaVA. And what I really love about this company is like it sort of mixed both worlds. It mixed the worlds of the trade that I studied for. I studied interior design for like 7 years in architecture, so I'm really deep into it. But then I did marketing, and that's really what I love. So when I saw NinjaVA, I was like, this is great because it brings both to worlds. And what NinjaVA does, basically, it's offering for the trades, for electrical contractors, remote workers. So we have remote workers in the Philippines, in South America, and we offer, so it's more the office work, the helpers, for the trade company. So it's like bringing both worlds together.
What I appreciate about what you just said is, first, you already have a background in trades. You mentioned interior design, and that's so funny because it feels like whenever a lot of contractors here, especially in California, who are in the custom home world.
Yeah.
And what's so funny is a lot of contractors say interior designers have so much authority in the custom world home that they override some engineers. We have Cameron, Tennessee electrician. He said sometimes he will wire up a home and the interior designer come and she goes, nope, I want to move this. So it's so funny because they have an eye for the end result, what they are looking for. As a contractor, we're here to build that and make that a possibility. And then you also talked about the architectural. So you have a full scope of what the trade has to do from beginning to end. And now you're in the office administration side of things. So it's funny, with your experience alone, you can see from inception of a project to breaking ground, the as-built, the drawings, to the finished touches of a project. And now you're in a space with your experience already coming in and say, okay, how do we navigate and manage this entire process? Not a lot of people have that experience, so it's pretty impressive because, as I mentioned, there's a lot of apprentices here learning to see what the trade has to offer. You're over here on the overseeing side of things. So with that experience in mind, what is the mission? What is NinjaVA doing in relationship to the trades?
Yeah, so NinjaVA has been created by Brandon, our CEO, and he was in the trade himself. So basically, he was on the field and he realized really quickly that he was getting overwhelmed and he had no solution. And he was traveling a lot in the world, like some backpacking when he was young. So I don't know exactly the story, but I know he was especially traveling in the Philippines. And he realized, hey, there are so many good people there. They are available, they are great people, they are smart, and they can help me growing my business here in the United States and in Canada. So that's basically the whole things behind NinjaVA is how do you help people who are growing their business, trades, like electrical contractors who are on the field all day, who are dealing with their team, dealing with their guys, and don't have the time for the office work. And then these workers are over there working remotely and helping. That's really it's like the win-win-win that we talk a lot at NinjaVA. Is like everybody wins in this story, and that's really what we try to bring.
I like that, especially the part where you talked about how Brian came from the field. A lot of
Like
us,
Brandon.
so we'll clip that. The one key that I loved what you just mentioned was how Brandon came from the field. Because once again, like we're here with a lot of apprentices learning the trade. And what we always start seeing when it comes to the education side of thing, everyone focuses on just be a harder worker, just work harder. So as you go through that apprenticeship, you start thinking, I just need to work harder.
Yeah.
You see where I'm getting at? And it's not taking away from you. It's not saying don't work hard. But at the same time, it's just there's another side and there's another group of skills that you have to develop to now truly be successful. So with the experience of Brandon being in the field and seeing that day to day, I love it in the sense where he already took action. He said, okay, something has to change. And maybe not have the answer, but like say, what's the next step to digging out and figuring out what we need to do? And now once you start looking into contractors nationwide, and if he's from Canada, I would say worldwide,
Yes.
is all having the same issues.
Oh, yes. And we are working with a lot of companies in the United States and in Canada.
Wow, okay.
Mostly in the United States, but I mean, every trade in the world, I think, has the same issue. It's just because it's easier because our remote workers are actually speaking English. They're very good English speakers. So it's easier to work with English-speaking countries.
I like that.
But you're right. It's like everywhere in the world, every single contractor, when you start growing your business, you just start to have so much to do, and you don't realize at first. At first, you're just like, I want to do my thing, and then you realize I have to learn more than that. I have to learn bookkeeping. I have to learn how to answer the phone calls. I have to learn how to do emails, my website, my social media. How do I follow up with leads? How do I do a newsletter? What about Google Ads, Google reviews? It's like, and you start to realize, oh my God, this is so much on my plate, so much that I didn't think of. I'm just an electrical contractor. I just want to work on the job. I want to be a trade. I want to be in houses. I want to help, as I say, like the interior designer making the whole project. I want to work for my clients so they got the house they want. And I'm ended up doing like Instagram. What am I doing?
Yep.
So there is really this issue, and you don't think about it. I think when you create your company, I created my first company really young, and you just want to do your job. You don't realize what is on the top of it. You don't realize, oh, I'm going to have to do taxes. I'm going to have to, even when you want to hire someone, you're just like, oh, I'm just going to hire someone. And then you're just like, oh, it's another state. How do I do the taxes? Oh, I need this insurance. I didn't know I needed a worker insurance. What is happening now? I get all these letters from the IRS. It's like all these little things you don't think about. You just want to be an electrical contractor.
Yep. That's so true.
And that's the whole thing NinjaVA is like answering. It's like we are really helping people who are getting just overwhelmed by all these little things. It's not it's not complex work. It's just like every day and a lot of small tasks. And it's something you say they are hard worker, and that's the problem too, is like you work hard and you're just like, I have to work very hard. I have to work every day until 10 p.m. If not, I'm not a good business owner. And then you realize, well, maybe I want to spend sometimes doing something else at night. We talked about that yesterday. It was like, maybe I want to go to the gym. Maybe I want to spend time with my family. Maybe I want to just travel a little bit.
So true.
And this is not something you feel you're so stuck with your business, you cannot let go.
Yeah.
And you ended up just swamped all the time, and it's just not good, and your business is stuck too. And you are the bottleneck of your own business because everybody is growing, but you are just, stuck there.
Yeah.
So this is really what we try to help and solve with NinjaVA.
I like what you talked about, and I can resonate with that because we meet so many contractors across the U.S., and what I started to know, and it's pretty sad, and you touched on it, and you said electricians love to do electrical work, right? They love to do the work. They take pride in their work. I've met individuals who love electrical work. They take pride in everything they do, but they hated business. And now business grew to be such a pain point in their life that they close down their business and they don't even want to start working in the field. So the one thing that they used to love, they hate now. And they become bitter because they didn't delegate, because they didn't work on these different skills that you have to work on, like you just mentioned. When it comes to electricians, I know personally everyone takes pride in. I remember when I was an apprentice, I asked one of my journeymans, asked like, how long are we working today? And he was like, today's a half day. So I was like, okay, cool. So at 12 o'clock, I'm like, hey, we're going home. He goes, no, a half day is 12 hours.
Oh, God.
I remember as an apprentice, he told me that. So I'm thinking like, oh, you mean like 12-hour day? Oh, bro, he goes, that's standard here, boy. Like, if you're not going to get it, like, so then that's when I started recognizing, and guess what? Just because that's the culture, you go in thinking that's normal.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, okay, I got to pull a 56-hour week, right? And then if you're a business owner, I got to find jobs, I got to leave reviews. So you think the 9, 10 o'clock is normal, right? You're like, well, and then I feel like, and then there's a lot of contractors who have families where they're like, baby, I have to work. This is for you and for the kids. But then you start thinking like, is that really the case? Should that be the standard? And I love how you talked about your experience and you were like, that's not normal. You can get sick, you can become tired, you can I'm just gonna walk away from everything because of that burden. What have you guys been seeing here in the US, contractors specifically? What have you been seeing with that pain point? Are contractors starting to wake up in that sense? Or is it pretty tough to still beat through that, I just gotta work harder mentality?
Well, honestly, it's like the funny part with our solution is when you offer it, it's not hard to convince people. Really not. No, it's actually not hard because people know they have a problem. It's more like
so they're already at almost at a breaking point?
It's not that they have a breaking point. It's just like, I mean, if you tell someone, hey, you work until 9, 10 p.m., it's too late, they're not going to tell you no. So it's like, yes, it's too late. The issue is sometimes they don't have the solution, or they don't really know how to apply the solution because they know they need help, but there's a difference between I know I need help, but I don't know where to get the help, what the help look like, and how even if I talk about, hey, there is a remote worker available for you, and a lot of people I get in demo or when I talk to them, they're like, I don't even know how to delegate to them. And then the issue is more like, it's not hard to convince, it's hard to tell them, hey, and they don't have the time. And that's our difficulty, is like we are trying to reach people who have absolutely no time. And we are like, we have the solution for you. They know that this is the solution. It's not a money issue, it's more like, I don't even know how I'm gonna get these people and train them. So I keep doing the same because it's easier for me to do it than to teach someone else to do it for me.
That makes sense.
And that's sort of the issue we have, and that's why NinjaVA, we are trying to do a lot of training for our VAs, and we are trying to overload this training part on us because we don't want someone to say, I have the money, I know I need a remote worker, you have remote workers that are perfect for me, but I don't have the time to train them and I cannot get it, and I'm gonna keep working until 10 p.m. at night because I think it's easier. And that's the problem I think we are trying to, that's where we are, it's difficult to change people's minds. And I have been there too. It's like delegating, I think it's the hardest. People, when it's your own business, you are so attached to it. It's like you always think nobody is gonna do it as good as I do it. It's like, it's my thing. Even if I explain someone how to do it, they're not gonna do it my way or not exactly my way. And you have a little part of letting go that is really hard to develop. And even me right now, also, I'm head of growth and marketing, so I have people working for me. I have remote workers who are doing my social media. I asked earlier Reels, and she was like, okay, I was like, hey, here are all the videos, please do Reels for me. Here's what I want. I have to let go the content creation part. I have to get because she's working, she's doing the reel, and then she sent it to me. And then I look at it, I was like, yeah, maybe I wouldn't have done that exactly the same way, but I like it. It's actually good. And I have to learn to let go and to say, this is good work, but this is not exactly what by myself I would have done.
Yep.
Of course it's not. It cannot be. They are not you. They are older people. So I think the delegation part is what really business owner and electrical contractors need to learn. And that's the hardest.
And I want to ask you a question because, once again, we're here with some trade schools. We have apprentices here. Do you think that's something we should focus on as a contractor when we're already having that problem? Or is this maybe something we can start incorporating into the younger generation to understand, hey, it's not normal, or it doesn't have to be normal. If you want to work till 80 hours, okay, you can do that. True or not, you can do whatever you want. But there is other opportunities out there if you are starting trade to understand, like, hey, you can learn. That's why we always talk about you can learn leadership skills even as an apprentice, because delegating, asking questions, follow up, and then you can recognize, hey, that's a skill that needs to be nurtured, if that makes sense. So where do you think we can start? Does it only start with contractors as a pain point, or should we start incorporating that earlier in the training, or construction culture?
Yeah, I think it should be like really, so I think delegation should be something it's something you need to learn when you are young, because the problem is if you wait to be older and if you wait to have the problem is when it's really hard. It's like a language, you know, if you learn it when you are like in high school, it's always easier than when you are 40 years old and you have to learn this new language. So delegation, I think it's the same. If you start learning how to delegate when you are young and an apprentice, it's going to be easier for you to delegate when you get older, because you're going to have these habits of letting go. And in practice, it's probably doing exercise where I have the task, but I'm not the one who's going to do the task. I may give that task to another apprentice, and reversely, this other apprentice is going to give the task to me. And then we're going to compare the work, or, you know, you can do some, I think, very easy exercise with them to just learn delegation. And delegation is really about what we call SOPs, you know, creating processes, meaning I do my task, but this time, instead of just doing the task, I try to think through and say, okay, how do I do the task? Then I just write a document. With AI, it's really simple to do SOPs now. So you just write a document, you're just like, okay, these are the steps. And then you ask someone else to do the steps. And the results won't be exactly the same, but I think it's a really good exercise to just pause and say, okay, I'm doing that thing every day, but how do I do it? What are the steps for me to get to A to Z? And then I give that steps to someone else, and I'm just watching, and I'm just like, okay, is this person going to A to Z, or are they stuck at S?
Yes.
If they are stuck at S, it's like, that means something is wrong. I have explained something wrong, or I need to explain more, or they just need to, and it's just delegation. The issue is like trust, because a lot of time is, even if I write these SOPs and I do the concept, I have to trust the person to do it for me, and and that's something for the apprentice that is really good to learn, to not micromanage people. Micromanagement is a really big issue, I think, in leadership, and the best CEO, the best contractors are the ones who don't micromanage others.
Yeah.
Because if you have been micromanaged yourself, it's usually not a comfortable position, and having a good relationship with your team, it's not micromanaging them. I mean, it's a personal belief.
No, I believe that.
So I think as an apprentice, you need to learn both to delegate and to trust in the delegation process.
I like that. And in so many tickets, I'm already thinking about how we're going to start applying that to a few of the apprentices coming in, because once again, there's that construction culture where we talk about it's like the old knuckle buster way. Like, you're learning the way I was taught. And then it's just like how you say, we got to develop SOPs, we got to make these processes, and then you can follow and you have a repeatable outcome because you're following the steps. I feel like the SOP for construction is bad culture, because that's what we're passing down, and that's what everyone's coming into. And once again, they think it's a full day worth of work. They think they have to be there at 10 o'clock at night. Like, we did a panel yesterday, and there's actually a stigma in the skilled trades. It's called the 3Ds. Like, you're not a real blue collar man unless you have a DUI, you do drugs, and you're divorced. So now you're coming into the trade and you're like, so this is normal. So I need those 3Ds. I need to work 80 hours a week and I have to have no life. But guess what? I do good work. That makes me a good person now. You see, it's like good work trumps over all those negative. It doesn't make sense. But guess what? That's what we're being told. That's, or not told, but that's what the culture is. There's individuals even, I remember when I was in the union growing up, I was the type of individual, I told you, I love to travel. I love to go out. I love to spend and enjoy my time with my friends. So they would be like, hey, we got overtime this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. And I'll be like, no, thank you. I got chewed out because I'm not taking overtime, because then they're like, now we have to offer it to somebody else. And he's like, no, we want to keep the crew together. So I'm a bad guy because I wanted to go out. I wanted to go sightsee. I wanted to go do my thing. And I said no to the culture. Now I'm a villain. I come back on Monday and they're treating me different. And I'm like, what is going on? You understand? So when it comes to this culture, I like how you said we have to start incorporating this early on. Now, that's perfect. That's a nice future world that we can start working on building up. Let's start talking about, let's say if I'm a contractor, we understand there's different stages of contracting, right? I might be starting off. My needs are different from somebody 1 to 2 years in, and then there might be somebody 3 to 5 years in. What is a good time, or what are good indicators that I should start looking for a VA? What have you seen already?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because I think when you start your business, you don't really know your processes. So it's going to be too soon, because you are testing things. You are like in the A/B testing period of time. You may not know exactly what are your type of clients. You may not know exactly what you want to do. So I think there is a test period when you create your business, when you just have to discover yourself. You need to just to know what you want to do. It's going to be too soon to hire someone. So probably the first 6 months is, you're going to be a little bit by yourself. It's going to be a little bit of test.
Trial by fire.
And a little bit of hard work.
Yeah.
And the 60, 80 hours per week, yeah, unfortunately, you have to start like by that. But then when you start to know yourself, you start to have repeatable business, repeatable clients, and you're just like, it's my ideal type of clients, for example, and you know them. You're just like, oh, this type of clients is really the type of clients I want repeatedly. Then you can start thinking about a remote worker, because now you have like already a process, already someone they can reach out to, because you know this type of person is a type of repeatable business. If you have already done like work on the field, you can already get reviews. So I think, as soon as your business you start to make money, you start to be having repeatable clients, it starts to be good, let's keep it good.
Good.
Don't wait, because the risk at this point is to start to have a lot of business and to want to push through by yourself and to say, okay, it's working, and to get a little greedy,
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm getting greedy, I'm making more money, and if I work more, I'm going to make more money.
Yeah.
And you have this lot of like this greedy part, and then you end up like at a plateau, because you cannot, even if you work really hard, there is a moment your health,
Yep. Catches up.
it catches up with you. If you don't take vacation for like a year, 2 years, it's going to catch up on you. So you have to take breaks, you have to pause, and the mistake is to wait too long to actually get help. It's really hard to admit that you need help, but I think a healthy electrical contractor is like, I'm starting my thing, I'm testing, and then I realize, oh, I know what I want to do, is start to work, I'm making money, I'm reinvesting this money. And having a VA and a remote worker is really an investment for your future. I don't think it's an expense. I think it's someone you train, someone who will stay with you, who is dedicated to your business, and you shouldn't see it like, I'm spending money. No, you're not spending money. You are training someone who's going to stay with you, and we're going to grow with you, and you're going to make money with this person.
Exactly.
Every single hire in your business is not money spent. It's money like you win by them working. And that's how a business grows. So I would say there is no ideal timeline. It really depends on, the type of business, how you do. If you get repeatable clients really quickly, But I think the time when you're ready is like, okay, I know what I'm doing. This is the moment. Don't wait. Don't wait to be overwhelmed. Don't wait to work like every night or to start losing your health. We can still help you at this point of time, you know? It's like we can find remote workers in like 5 to 7 days. So we are safe. Some people come to us and we're just like, you know, they're at the stage where they're almost burning out. We can do something for them.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit too late.
No, that literally happened with us. Like we reached out on a Monday, and like by Friday we already made a selection.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, okay, perfect. We did the interviews. We see like who's compatible, who had experience already that in that industry, in that type of work that you're looking for, that pain point. No, I like that, and I'm so excited because I feel like a lot of contractors, once again, it goes back to the culture where we learn, like, you have to learn the hard way. Everyone loves that underdog story, and they almost like relive it every day just to keep that self-talk, you know, alive in their head, you know. But I just want to say I appreciate you so much for that. Is there any other insights, any other things that you want to share about NinjaVA, yourself, your experience on what we need to do better as contractors?
Well, yeah, it's a really big question. So I think the most important what I wanted to share in this podcast is really, if you want, the goal for NinjaVA is to help you grow your business. So if you want to grow a business and your goal is to grow, I always say our ideal clients is people who want to grow. If your goal is just, hey, I'm happy in my life, no growth.
Single man shop.
You know, it's like single man shop. I have no plan to grow, no plan to hire. I'm just here and I stay, okay, good. But you know, if you want to grow a business, if you start to have more clients, if you start to have bigger contract, if you need more guys on the field, start to have a lot of things to schedule, you get a lot of phone calls, please, you know, start thinking ahead. Don't wait for it to be too late and that, as you say, you start hating being a business owner, because that's a problem. It's like when you're a business owner, at first you love it, and then you get overwhelmed. You get like in your head, and you're just like, after you're just like, you want to drop everything. You're just like, I'm done with, you know, I'm done being a contractor. And this is a little sad because it was something you loved and now you hate it because you didn't take the right decision at the right moment.
I agree.
So again, if you're already burning out, please reach out. It's not too late. You know, if you know you're gonna burn out, it's not too late. But I think people should get to that solution before. It's like...
Make it proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. And it's like when you know, if you go to the doctor only when you're sick.
Yes.
It's the same
100%.
thing. It's like, be proactive with your health, be proactive with the health of your business, basically.
Yeah.
Having a business, I mean, some people open a business for like a couple years, but if you open a business, I'm guessing you open it for like 5 years, 10 years, it's your life. Make it healthy, you know, make it works well, make it fun, make it like you like to wake up every day to work for your business. It's your thing, you know, it's your job. We spend a lot of time at work. We have to love our job, I think.
I agree.
You know, so it's like, make it healthy, think proactively, and NinjaVA is really here to help you. We are finding, like, as you say, remote workers very quickly. We always have a pool available. So if you book a demo with us, you know, you're happy with the concept, we can give you like 3 candidates pretty quickly, in a day or 2. I think I will say more in a day.
Yeah.
Our team is really good. And then, you know, you find your remote workers, you start working with them. I mean, and you have a VA, right? So maybe you want to talk a little bit about how it goes with her.
Yeah, no, we have a VA, and I just want to compliment what you just said. What it was so funny is when you said waking up and, you know, you want to go to work and not just, one of my biggest pet peeves as a contractor is I'll go to the supply store in the morning and you'll see other contractors there. You know, we're all getting our coffees, and I'm like, how's it going, Fred? And he's like, same shit, different day. So I'm like, it's 6 o'clock. Like, the day just started and he's already in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Well, I want this message for everyone, especially if you're in the trades. You don't have to spend the next 10, 20 years saying that same phrase every day, because once again, it becomes a habit. You know, then you think that's normal. So you're in the supply store grumpy, and then just like you said, like, There's times where maybe if you don't have a family, but you want to go travel. If you don't want to travel, you can go to the gym. You understand? Like, it's not going to free up 40 hours a week, but it's going to give you that hour or two back that you were going to spend in the evening, you know? And it's like, I want to prioritize my health. I never was able to go to the gym in the morning or in the afternoons. Now you can. Or if you're a father, hey, now I have the opportunity to take my kid to school, pick them up, or have a nice lunch date in the middle. You see where I'm getting at? So it's that pocket. And that's what I always talk about, like with Maria, with our VA. She's like, so what's your number one goal? I said, I need my time from 9 to 11. I said, you can bother me from 7 to 9, and then you can bother me from 11 to 5. She goes, perfect. And then she updated my calendar, and she did everything, and somebody will call in. One example we had is, I was like 9 to 11. So somebody calls in, and they're like, I need to speak to Will. She goes, is it an emergency? He goes, yes. She goes, how much of an emergency? It was just so funny because she's just, and I say that joking around.
Your time.
No, she's just making sure it's not just like, oh, where's so-and-so? I can check that for you. She's just making, it wasn't don't get me wrong, it was an emergency. So he had it, so she sent me a text and everything, but that was a fluke call. But the point I loved was the simple fact that she did her due diligence in the sense of, hey, this is already reserved for something. Can I help you? No. What's it about? This. Oh, but at the beginning of the day, I told her, hey, if this comes up, this is bad.
Okay.
You understand? Like, if this person says this, we need to go there. So she knew everything beforehand. So if you want to look for a VA and you just think, well, do it, they can't produce because they don't know you said, you have to focus. So that's what I've been doing a lot with Maria in the sense of in the morning, we're like, hey, this is our overall goal of the company. This is what I have to do this month for the company. Yeah. This is what I have to do this week for the company. So if we do this one thing today, I'll be happy. She'll be like, done. And then that's how we work on it, you know? So that's my personal experience when has been working with Maria personally with Ninja. She's amazing when she does that, and she's very thorough at the end of the day. And then the next thing you can also, because I think about it as pain point, as a contractor. Why would I not want to hire a VA? And if you think about a VA, if you think about how busy you are in the field, and we talked about the micromanaging, contractors have that sense of like, well, I can't see what they're doing. Yeah. So I don't trust them. No. At 3 o'clock, she's giving me an update of everything she did for the day. And then I'm like, and then I'll go onto my computer like to verify, and I'll be like, AI, how long are these tasks? And it would be like, those are 4 hours. That means I would have been home at 8 o'clock till midnight doing those 4 things that she would have done. You see where I'm getting at? So there is a tangible number of what you are going to lose if you don't hire a VA. You understand? And then you think about the billable hours. Contractors love saying how I'm billing 100, 200, 300 an hour. All right, multiply that by the 4 hours that you were just about to spend tonight. Wow, you just lost $1,000 working till midnight. But guess what? You're a tough contractor. You're a good contractor. So don't worry about it. No, you learn that, hey, if I want to grow, like you mentioned, those 4 hours mean more to me than a VA for the week. And that's how you simplify, and that's how you view it. That's how I did it, at least.
No, yes, and you're right to mention like the price of a VA, because our VAs from like 9 to 12 the hour, and then we have elite VAs that are a little bit more expensive, up to 15, and I think it's 15 right now, but they are very specialized. So, but most of the VAs are 9 to 12, and it's like, it's nothing for the work they actually do. So, I mean, if you don't get your money back in 2 weeks, I don't believe you. Like really, it's like you get your money back because as a contractor, your time is more valuable. It's more like billable. Like you really bill your time at a much higher rate.
Yes.
So if you do all these little things right now, you basically lose this money, and through time, you block your own growth. Yeah. What is impressive with our clients is it's happened so often that they take one VA and then they realize it works so well that now they take a second VA and then they want the third VA. And you know, it's like, and this is really nice because this is seeing like, okay, now they see the value, and because they see the value, they hire another person, and then another person. It's like,
and then you get addicted to the growth.
Yeah, and we don't, this is not something we even have to sell. it is something people ask. It's like now we have a new like dashboard system, and there is just a big button. I want an additional VA, and I can tell you, a lot of people click on this additional VA button, and then we call them. We're just like, okay, we give you new candidates, and here we are. And it's so easy, and the reason we made it so easy in our dashboard is because we had so many people requesting it.
I love that.
And
That's proof of concept right there.
Yeah, it's proof that the concept works, and all the things that is important is to talk about the trust. And we have actually, NinjaVA is an agency. We have a lot of VAs, so we are actually working with them to make sure they are good remote workers. We have a very strong vetted process. We train them, and we have a very strong dashboard. You can see what they do on their screen. We have actually like backhand. So I'm not in operations, so I don't know exactly what is happening. My colleague was much better in the latest podcast you did with her, but we have a lot of things in the backhand to check, and make sure they are good workers for you. It's a really win-win-win situation.
Yeah.
We want them to be happy, we want the contractor to be happy, and we don't want us to be happy. Everybody needs to be happy in this system.
Yeah.
If for any reason the VA doesn't work, it happens, it's an employee.
Yeah.
Sometimes you hire an employee, it's just not the right employee. That's fine. Let's find someone else. This VA goes to another company, and then we find you another VA.
Yep.
So it's really, when you think about a VA, you think about an employee, a dedicated worker for your company. They're gonna learn how you work, how you proceed. Maria for you, she's learning about what you do at Energizers, and she's gonna be really specific in the task. It's not. A lot of people was like, "Can AI do it?" I was like, "No, I cannot do that." It's like it's a real employee. It's not. It's not something that an artificial things can do. And we actually changed a virtual assistant to remote workers.
I love that.
Because we want people to remember, hey, it's not a virtual, AI assistant.
Yeah.
It's an actual person in front of their computer doing work for you when you need it. And as you say, who is capable to do due diligence? Who is capable to take this phone call and judge, okay, is it an important phone call? Is it an urgent phone call?
Yeah, AI wouldn't be able to tell you that
No.
that quickly also.
I would, you talk about trust, I wouldn't trust AI at all. So, these people are actually, you can trust them because you actually train them, and then they learn your own process, and they're gonna react one way or another depending on the situation. So it's really, and especially as a trade, as a contractor, I think you have a lot of situational things. Like something happened on the field, a phone call, and you have to react fast, and you have to react the right way. And in a lot of situations, you have to make a judgment, okay, what is the course of action for these specific things that is happening? And having nobody who is answering the phone, having nobody who is answering this very urgent email, it's not a good thing for your business. You want your own clients to be happy, and you want to have a line open for them. So I think having a VA is also offering for your own clients a much better customer experience.
I love that. And I appreciate so much of everything you broke down already. Let's say I'm a contractor. Let's say everything that you're saying I'm experiencing right now. I'm feeling these pain points. I have enough cash flow going. I have enough jobs. I'm starting to see, this 8, 9, 10 o'clock is starting to become routine right now.
Yeah.
How does somebody find out more information?
Okay, well, to find more information, so you can go to our website, ninjava.com. There is a book a demo. It's really easy. You scroll the page, book a demo, you put your emails, to select a date. It's going to be with either me, actually.
Oh, nice.
Or one of my colleagues. So yeah, I'm doing the demo. I mean, we are still a small company, so
it's intimate. It's more intimate.
So the demo is also very important for us. It's like when we get someone, we really want to understand the pain points. We want to understand the needs. We have a very strong customer experience team. We want to get you the right person for your business. So we are not that's why I say I'm doing the demo. My colleagues, even Brandon is doing demos. It's like we are taking this very seriously because we want you to keep that remote worker for a long time. It's not a 1 month hire. It's someone who's going to stay with you. So we take this, yeah, you're right. It's like we take these things very seriously. even at the leadership level. So you go online, ninjava.com, you book a demo. It's just a call with us. We show you how it works. And if you're happy, then let's go. We can offer you like 3 candidates, and then just, you have your next hire in a few days. So it's really easy process.
I love that. And of course, at the bottom of the video, we're going to have the description. We have a special code for you guys, especially if you want to check it out at NinjaVA. But Ginny, one final point. If you wanted to share with contractors, is there anything that you want to leave with them?
Can you repeat that?
So sorry. It's a long day, guys.
Yeah.
No, with contractors, is there any last thing you would like to leave with them as a token, just so they can walk away with something valuable?
Yeah, I think my last point is probably something pretty personal. I created my first business at 22. I thought I was really young. I thought I could do everything, that I had no limits, and I burned out at 25. So I think it was
And it wasn't because you weren't busy.
It was because I was too busy. I had too much work, and I was greedy. I was making a lot of money, and I was just like, hey, this is great. I'm young. I'm making money. This is amazing.
Yeah,
Let's
that
go.
should. And what does everyone say? That should be a good problem to have, right?
Exactly. And everybody was like, she's great. She's doing good. I had a lot of push also because, you create your business. It's going to work. Go, go, go. And at some point, my body collapsed because, it's like health. It's like I was not taking any vacation. I was working really late every single day. You're young. You think everything is possible. The world is your limit. And you realize that, no, you have actually So my advice for especially newly apprentices is get greedy, work hard, but don't work hard against your own health. Get help. Actually, I think your program is really good for that. Get a coach, get some help, don't hesitate to hire people, having remote workers, having mentors. I think it's a very personal advice, but when you want to especially getting your own business, you have to get all this help and people around you. You cannot do it all alone. It's a false conception, I think.
I agree. Well, Ginny, it's always a pleasure to be with you guys at NinjaVA. We had our first podcast when we were in South Carolina with Rebecca.
Yeah.
This is our second one with NinjaVA now here in Burbank, California. And once again, if you guys want more information, please use the link down below that we're going to put down. But Ginny, thank you so much for today. I really do appreciate you.
Thank you. It was nice.